Tell us your name and ask the question.
Namaste Swamiji, my name is Alex. First, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. My question is about freedom. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that all decisions are taken by nature and the conscious individual is fooled into thinking that I am the doer when Prakriti is responsible for all the work. Or at least that is my understanding. Then is the act of direct realization, the removal of ignorance, entirely subject to Prakriti? And given the role of Prakriti, is the process of striving to self-realization the foundation of Vedanta's ethical principles, or are those derived from something else?
Okay. This is a question which will come up every time you have any kind of spirituality or any kind of philosophy indeed. From the most ancient times till today, it's a question of free will, freedom. How free are we to do anything at all? First answer is, we are free. Because all our religion, morals, do's and don'ts, they're based on the assumption you're free to do the right thing and free to do the wrong thing. Otherwise, what's the point of giving instructions if I'm not free to follow the instructions? So we assume when you give instructions, when you teach a child to be moral, ethical, when you give spiritual instructions, sit like this, breathe like this, withdraw your yoga instructions. Although at the physical level, at the sensory level, the mental level, we must be free. Otherwise, these instructions don't make sense. Ethics doesn't make sense. What about law? Law doesn't make sense. When you punish the guilty, what is the assumption? That this person freely did a wrong thing. He could have chosen to do something, the right thing, did not, hence should be punished. When you reward somebody for bravery or for good deeds done, they freely did much more than they need have done. And their contributions are tremendous. We recognize how they use their freedom. We recognize or we punish how they misuse their freedom. Freedom. Otherwise, our whole legal system will not work. Our whole consumer system. You go to all the shops here. What do you see? Menu. So many types of coffee. So many types of cookies and donuts. And so many types of pizzas and whatnot. What does that imply? Freedom. Even things which directly impinge your freedom. Advertisement, multi-billion dollar industry. What are they trying to do? Manipulate your freedom. Unless you're free to choose, there's no use advertising to you also. They're trying to restrict your freedom, but that way. So law, economics, justice system, ethics, morality, religion, they all assume freedom. They all assume freedom. Now you take a closer look. Is there really freedom? When you take a closer look, it seems no, there cannot be freedom. Science, if you have causality, cause and effect, this cause leads to that effect. Then whatever we are seeing here, they are all effects. There must be causes behind it. And those causes are effects of causes earlier. So whatever is here in this universe is determined by past causes. That means whatever we are doing is determined by past causes. Where is our freedom then? In principle, if you strictly follow causality, no freedom. Freedom should not be there. It's an aberration, an anomaly in causality. Freedom should be eliminated. Causality reigns. Causes have effects. Actions have consequences. Then religion comes and says, you have no free will. Everything is the will of God. Sri Ramakrishna himself says, even a leaf does not move without the will of God. Krishna says, as you quoted in the Bhagavad Gita. So what do you think? Then why do we say we have free will? All this you said your free will is assumed by law, by economics. Then why do we assume at all? This is because we are fooled. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, which we just quoted from it says, Prakrityeva karmani kriyamanani sarvasha yapashyati tathatmanam akartaram sapashyati. Nature, Prakriti, is doing everything. This is again Sankhya philosophy, Patanjali Yoga philosophy. Everything is being done by nature. This is so much in tune with science, so much in tune with modern. Any doctor, physician, neuroscientist, they will all agree. That's all determined. Nature is doing everything. and you feel you are doing it, you'll be getting fooled. And Krishna also indicates what's the mechanism of being fooled. Ahankara vimodhatma. Deluded by the ego. The ego is a function of the mind which appropriates to itself the activities of the mind. So there is thinking going on, speaking going on, body is doing something. What the ego says is, I am thinking, I am speaking, I am speaking, I am walking, I am sitting. These are activities of the body. These are activities of the mind, of the speech. But the ego says, I am doing it. And we won't say, am I not? Are you? Just imagine, when I say, I am speaking, I just said a sentence. How many things have to go right for it to happen? What tremendous activity in the neurons in the brain to recover from the memory the English words, I am thinking, the sequence of those words, the meaning of those words. What tremendous activities go on from the brain to the nervous system which activates the vocal cords, the tongue. If I am given charge of all that, will I be able to do it? No chance at all. Nothing at all. I won't be able to do a first thing. How to recover the memories of the words from my memory? I have no idea. No idea. It's all happening. It's being done and served before me. What do? Only one thing I do. I, the ego. I say, I am doing it. No, you are not. No, you are not. Nothing of this is being done by you. And the amazing thing is, modern neuroscience is now beginning to say the same thing. And this has got many people worried. Richard Sapolsky, that book Determined, it's the latest offering. There are other books like that also, but the latest, most comprehensive work recently, Richard Sapolsky, is Determined. He says, if you take neuroscience seriously at least, there's no possibility of free will. We are being fooled into thinking we have free will. Okay, now, all that's background. What about Vedanta? What does Vedanta say? And what about ethics in Vedanta? Is there free will according to Vedanta? The answer is nuanced. Vivekananda said free will is a misnomer in terms. By the time freedom there is only freedom. Atman is free, Brahman is free, the pure consciousness is free in itself. But when it becomes will, I will do this, I will even think this, I will say this. By the time it becomes will, it is already determined. It's far down in the chain of causality. When will, it becomes expressed as will. We were discussing this in the Gita class day for yesterday, when Krishna describes what is the field and the knower of the field. What is the field? Kshetra. And there he gives the Sankhyan philosophy of 24 tattvas, 24 principles. Basically, the 5 elements, air, water, fire, earth, and all of that. And then the subtle elements which constitute our mind, our intellect, our sense of ego, the powers of the senses, the powers of the body, the organs of action. These are all field. And then he says, Sanghatas Chetana Dhriti. He says, when the body-mind complex, this is the field, it is created, what happens? You, the consciousness, get reflected there. So there is a reflected consciousness here, illumining the consciousness which we feel right now. And then what happens? There's the ego. And this ego develops likes and dislikes. Sukha, dukkha, ichcha, dvesha, it says. Raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes. And then he adds will, dhriti. Will generates and then in this body-mind complex. I have likes and dislikes. What I like, those ones I will try to attain, will. What I dislike, those ones I will strive to overcome or get rid of, will. That's so far down in the chain of causation. So that will is determined by what? By likes and dislikes. Yes. Now in Vedanta we have freedom, and the interesting thing in Vedanta is that which has freedom, Atman or Brahman, that is the ultimate reality. So the ultimate reality is free. Our real nature is freedom. And the whole of this, from that perspective, is an expression of that freedom. Within this game, there is no freedom. But the whole game is your expression, and you are free. It's like the director of the movie is free. In the movie, no character has freedom. But you are the director, luckily. You are free. And this whole thing is your expression. You are painting this picture until it's complete and you see, and what does it reveal? Your picture which you painted is self-portrait. It's a selfie. I was once thinking I should give a talk, the ultimate selfie. Enlightenment is the ultimate selfie, which shows us what we are. So that's the meaning of freedom in Vedanta. If you want a more precise answer, I recommend Professor Arindam Chakravarti's Why Pray to a God Who Can Hear the Anklets on an Ant's Feet. He's quoting from Sri Ramakrishna's Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So there he analyzes, he first of all does a quick survey of all theories of determinism, no free will. All theories of libertarianism, there is free will. All theories of compatibilism, there is free will and there is no free will. Both are compatible. And then he comes to, so what do we do now? What's the point of it? What does Vedanta say? He says, his answer is very fine and nuanced. This is the best answer I found to this question so far. He says 3 levels. First level, yes, there is free will. We all feel free will. Second level, if you analyze neuroscience, philosophy, spirituality, no free will. Third level, so what? What do we do? Acknowledge, use the appearance of free will, the feeling that we have. We can't, even if we come to the conclusion there's no free will, we'll still act as if we have free will. So use the appearance of free will to acknowledge that there is no free will. That is a continuous act of surrender to God. As long as we have these questions, we are definitely Jiva, sentient being. We are not absolute Brahman. Brahman doesn't have this question. There's no question of will in Brahman. Brahman is free. So as an individual being, when the question of freedom, free will is there for me, the best answer from Vedanta is acknowledge first of all that, or use the illusion of free will to acknowledge there is no free will. It is all you. It sums it up in Sri Ramakrishna's little formula. Naham, tuhu. Not I, thou my Lord, thou my Lord. You can do this because you feel your free will. But your knowledge is that there is no free will. So put them together.